Hi there. In this video, I'm going to talk about being inspired by other people in creative projects, about how imitating our heroes can be a learning tool, and not only that, it could also help us discover our own voices. I'll offer a few quotations from other people that have helped my thinking about this, and at the end, I'll give a couple examples of copying as learning and adding personal touches along the way. Before I jump into all that, I'll offer a little bit of my background with this topic. As a kid, I loved reading comic books, loved the adventures of the superheroes, and I loved drawing. Now, it seemed natural to want to draw just like what I saw in the comic books. So I copied them, those dramatic illustrations, just it was amazing to see them. And my illustrations didn't look nearly as good as what I saw in the comic books. And alongside that, my ideas for drawings didn't look or seem nearly as cool as what I saw in the comic books. So that led to feeling bad and frustrated along the way too. So that's the drawing track, and now a bit of a writing track as well. As a teenager, I started reading books by Stephen King. I really enjoyed those scary stories, and I felt that his writing was smooth and really easy to read. And me wanting to be a writer, it just also felt natural that, wow, if I could pull that off, how cool would that be? And as I wrote short stories, they just didn't seem as smooth or easy to read as Stephen King stories. Mine felt just awkward and kind of clunky, by comparison. Then in my 20s, I discovered Thomas Pynchon and read his books V and Vineland, and just I was wowed by the kaleidoscopic kind of plots. Not only that, but those wild long sentences that wound here and there and every which where. And I was wowed by that and impressed by how he pulled it off. And I wanted to try to do that too. I tried, but just couldn't get there. I couldn't pull it off as well as he could. Mine just again felt frustrated and awkward by comparison. And I felt guilty, along with the frustrations, I felt guilty about copying, Stephen King and Thomas Pynchon, in that I thought I should be able to write for myself and not have to copy others. Well, now for some quotations, ones that have helped me as far as feeling less guilty about what I'm doing. And a couple are from Ursula K. Le Guin's Conversations on Writing, in which she talked with David Nyman. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. So let's get into a couple quotations. First, let's start with David Nyman's quote. In most art forms, painting, dancing, music, it seems like imitation is part of the learning process, that it is crucial to honing one's craft and finding one's voice. You don't shy away from recommending imitation as a way to learn to write, but it seems like it is something that writers have traditionally been a little troubled by. And now we have Ursula K. Le Guin's response to that. In the arts, imitation has to be understood by the person doing it as a learning device. Otherwise, it's plagiarism. You imitate only to learn, and you don't publish it. Or if you do, you say, this is an imitation of Hemingway. But the internet and competition in college tends to blur the distinction between imitation and plagiarism. And this blurriness leads teachers to warn people not to imitate, and that's foolish. You have to learn by reading good stuff and trying to write that way. And there's one other quote that I like to share with you, and this is from the artist Fred Stonehouse. I was watching another YouTube video where he was being interviewed by the Milwaukee PBS, and I thought he did a great job of describing the process of imitating others and learning. And down below in the description of this video, I'll put a link to that video so you can hear more about Fred Stonehouse's interview and see some of his paintings. So let's get to his quote. Wanting to emulate another artist, you feel compelled to make your own version. Of course, you fail to make that thing. Somewhere in that space between wanting to have made that thing and the thing you actually make is where you discover your own voice. You can be inspired by that thing, attempt to make that thing, and then your thing is informed by all your experiences and that covetousness, that love of that other thing. And then it just emerges as hopefully as your own unique vocabulary, your own voice. Now I'm going to go through a couple examples of being inspired by what other people have created, but changing it with some personal touches. First up is The Thinker by Auguste Rodin, or is it Auguste Rodin? Either way, I took this photo of the sculpture at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. Very recognizable work of art here. And that has inspired other works, including this sculpture, which is at the National Gallery of Art's Sculpture Garden. And this is called Thinker on a Rock. And this sculpture is by Barry Flanagan. Next up is a painting by Edvard Munch. And apologies for my bad French pronunciation here. It's called Rodin's Le Penseur. Rodin's Le Penseur in Dr. Lin's garden. Like I said, my apologies. And this is a mural called The Modern Thinker by the artist Aske, A-S-K-E. I'm not sure exactly how you say that, but this mural is in Mannheim, Germany. And I took a couple stabs at copying the Thinker myself in this posture on the left side of the Thinker, putting in a bold yellow background on it. This is a digital drawing. And with the other side, I did more of a crosshatch kind of approach to the Thinker. The second example is a book cover design that I did for Frankenstein. This wasn't a work project. I didn't do it for a client. Think of it as a hobby thing. I had an idea for a book cover for Frankenstein, and I just wanted to see how it looked. So I'll walk you through the influences that I had and then how the book cover came out. First, I thought of the Vitruvian Man, drawn by Leonardo da Vinci a long time ago. Let's put that to the side. Second, I thought of the poster for the movie The Man with the Golden Arm. This poster was designed by Saul Bass. And in particular, I really like the arm in the middle, that jagged, you did that sense of drama that just the shape of that arm kind of gives off. Let's put that to the side as well. You can see these two side by side, the Vitruvian Man and the Saul Bass poster. And here's my book cover design for Frankenstein. I thought of the kind of posture for the figure of Frankenstein's creature of the Vitruvian Man, but with the jagged body parts that was inspired by that arm that Saul Bass did in The Man with the Golden Arm poster. So I'll wrap up this video, and I want to say that that advice has resonated with me in that we can be inspired by our heroes to try our own hand at creating music, painting, writing, and so forth. And we can copy those heroes, but we'll eventually fail to fully copy those people because we're not them, we're ourselves. And in that failing, we can discover more of ourselves, our voices. And then after that, we can shape our voices by continuing to work, to experiment and explore too. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Thanks for watching this far, and good luck on your art projects. Take care.